Alright guys, so we're back at it and we're finally to the top of the playfield on Special Force. I've already gone through and touched up a couple little pieces of paint missing, like mainly these rings, the black rings around all the inserts and everything like that. We put a little bit of clear coat on it just to protect it all, nothing super fancy. Um, but right now I'm about to install the flippers and I want to show you how to do that because I did kind of promise I'd show you how to put them in and adjust them and stuff. So the first thing I want to show you are these two dots. That one right there and then that one right there. Okay? Those are your alignment dots, and pretty much you want that to be in the center of your bat. And what I mean by that is you're going to put your flipper assembly or your bat with shaft right into the bushing. And then down below you're going to have your paw that gets connected right to the shaft of the flipper and gets connected to the coil that activates your flipper. That's what tightens it down and holds it in place. So when I go and lift this playfield, these are going to flop all over the place and everything. And it's going to be really hard for me to show you how to line it up in that position. So what I'm going to do is kind of give you an idea up here. So what you want to do is you want to have that dot right in the middle. Kind of in the middle of that curve. I know it's not really, it's kind of hard to get a good angle to see here. Maybe better like this. You want that kind of in the middle like that. I mean, that's not perfect, it's pretty close. I'll be able to make some fine adjustments when I'm actually tightening it down. Just to remember, it's going to flop all over the place, you know, like I said before. So when you get the paw on, you're just going to snug down the set screws, just so this thing's just not flopping loose like this. And then you can kind of like move it and get it adjusted right where you want it, and then tighten down the set screws, and that's where it'll be. And that's going to give you your most optimal setting, pretty much. At least that's how I've always adjusted my bats and everything when I've taken them out or replaced them. Not all pinball machines have these like positioning dots here, so you just got to be careful and pay attention before you tear them apart to see how your bats are positioned. So if you don't have alignment dots, you can pretty much just do your best to line it up the way it was previously. So I'm going to go ahead and set you guys up on the tripod, lift this playfield, and we're going to get these bats tightened all the way down and the rest of it installed. Oh, and I guess I should also show you, I installed LEDs in this pinball machine as well, too. All the way through, below the inserts and all that. The only thing I did not install that's a non-LED, I kept the original, was the light in the middle. I don't have one of the circular lights that it originally came with, and I can't even find one, not in the local stores, and I'm not going to order one. This one just, it works just fine. It's just your common 40 watt CFL. Don't go above 40 watt, it'd be too much for this. Then once we get these bats assembled again, then we can start going around and putting all the posts and all the rubbers and all the plastics and the pop bumpers and everything all back together. When all that's back together, then we gotta tear all these circuit boards out, go through them all. Even though I went through this soundboard, I'm gonna take it out again, and I'm gonna just make sure everything, I didn't miss nothing, so on and so forth. We're gonna touch up all the solder on the header pins, clean all the sockets out, replace any bad sockets, clean the legs on the actual chips that are in the sockets, and replace all the capacitors. I haven't replaced the caps in the soundboard, so that's the other reason why I'm taking out the soundboard. Oh, and the battery. I want to replace that battery because that's an original battery, and eventually it's going to start leaking. It hasn't started yet, so I got super lucky with that, and I want to prevent it from leaking for the future customer. But other than that, let's get you set up and get these bats adjusted and tightened down. Alright, so we'll be right back. Alright, as you can see, I already got the right hand flipper bat and all that, the paw and all this, rehooked back up. It's all tightened down, the spring, the return spring is set up, the little knob here is into the plunger notch, so that the flipper itself actually moves when the plunger sucks in. And if you look over here, I got it as lined up as best as I could. Now you want it to be pretty much right down the middle of the bat here, alright? And you want to get as close as possible. You don't want the bat touching this metal pin or anything like that. As you can kind of see, it's holding pretty good. So now I'm going to show you how I did that with this side here. Again, you're not going to see me adjusting the bat. You're only going to see the bottom part of this. It's going to be really hard for me to film both sides. So I'll show you what it looks like afterward. But let's go ahead and get you guys set up. And then we're going to get this flipper assembly right here. Get the paw put back in place. Get everything hooked up and adjusted and lined up. And then that'll be it for the bats. Alright, we'll be right back. Alrighty, so we're back doing our thing here. So now, like I mentioned before, you gotta line up the bat in the upper part of the playfield on the top side. You don't have to go and get it lined up right away because everything's gonna be loose. So first things first, just get this paw put into place. Just hold the bat so it doesn't pop out like so. So get the paw into place. Get the end of the paw right into that little groove right here, as you can see. Now from here, you can let go of the bat in the top because it's not going to push through, not unless you push on the bat's shaft right there in the bottom, so just don't do that. The next thing that I like to do, just to help myself out a bit, is to take this return spring and get it hooked back up. It'll help me line up basically where it's supposed to return to in general. It can be a little bit of a pain. There we go. It all depends. Sometimes they're a pain in the butt, sometimes they're not. But all you want to really do at this point is just to start tightening up these set screws here. You don't have to make them really tight, just snug them down slightly. Enough where you can still move the bat and make adjustments. Okay, so I can move the bat. Now from here, push the plunger. Oh, I don't have to on this one. It's got just the right alignment there. So I can tighten up this other set screw. I'm sorry, not tighten it up. I don't want to have it tightened up. I want it just snugged up. Just so enough where the bat can be adjusted into like a permanent spot. Now I'll go ahead and get the bat as lined up as I can get it. Again, I'm going by eyeball here, so it's not, it might not be perfect. It might not be perfect the first time I do it. It might not be perfect ever. You know, just do the best that you can. Alright, now I got it generally where I'm going to want it. So I can go ahead and get this thing. If I don't drop all my tools, you know, I'm going to double check, make sure I got on misalignment. Okay. So you just kind of hold the bat where it is. You may need to make some tweakings as you go. Okay, so we got that there. Got like right that. I'm going to have to go ahead and adjust it some more. Alright, let me see. Alright, so right about there. You'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'm blind as a bat. Get it? A bat? Yeah, I know, it's terrible. Alright. Oops, slipped out. Okay, so it's not tightened all the way down. It's just snugged up. They both look pretty equal. I'm going to try and scoot past the camera without hitting it. So if I hit the camera, I'm sorry. Not much room where I've got it all set up. I'm trying to see if I got that dot lined up in the middle. It's pretty close, actually. Okay. Now from here, I may hit the camera, so just warning you guys. I'm clumsy like that. Oh, I did it. Alright, so now I'm going to take my more heavy-duty Allen wrench here and tighten all this down so that I can actually make sure the bat's gonna move without. Make sure we can hit the plunger into the coil at full force, so the bat and make sure the bat itself doesn't actually just come out of place. I'll get that. Gosh darn it. Oh, my feel here, I can't even see it. Okay. Make sure it's still lined up. Yeah, for the most part it is. Seems to be pretty good. Now from here, you can push the plunger in to get yourself a better angle of this other set screw. Do the same thing, crank it down nice and tight. You want these things to be pretty damn tight, okay? Alright. Alrighty. So now, I'm just going to go ahead and double check, make sure it doesn't pop loose on me. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to zoom you back out. Alright, I'm going to take you off the tripod, and we're going to go take a closer look real fast. Alrighty, so, it's all set up now, and trying to get the best angle for you. I'm sorry about that. Okay. When the plunger gets sucked into the coil, that little tab right there hits the end of stroke switch so that it knows that you're supposed to go to the secondary winding, and you don't fry your coil if you hold the button. And then the return spring helps return it. Okay. Looking pretty good. I'll move this tripod out of my way. I'll pop around to this side and look at the dot. The camera is going to actually help me with this a little bit. That's pretty dang close, if I say so. Now I can always make some fine adjustments once I get the rubbers put on. I play a couple games and realize, oh wait, something's just not right. So you can always make adjustments. And there's nice gapping below the flippers too. And that's going to obviously help prevent it from scratching up the artwork and everything like that. Okay. Scoot back round. Alrighty, all I have left to do on the bottom of the playfield now is hook these wires up to this coil assembly right up here. This one. This is the one so when the ball comes down the chute and, you know, you've lost your ball, it'll kick the ball up over into here. Because you have to have 3 balls loaded in the game for the game to even play. Alright, so I'm going to do that off camera just because it's just really basic, real simple. And that's going to be the last major thing I have to do down below here. This is really easy right here. It's beyond easy. The bottom of the playfield, I don't want to say it's hard. It's more annoying. There's a lot of things that get in the way, and you got to be careful so you don't break anything or, you know, cut a wire or whatnot. You can see there's a lot compacted in here pretty tightly. And they get a lot more compact than this too. This isn't even that bad. But with that being said, the entire hard part of the job is pretty much done now. What we have to do next is put on all of our plastics, all of our rubbers, and everything else on the top of the playfield. Then we'll pull the PCBs out the back and clean them all up, replace the capacitors and all that. I already went over in the beginning of the video what we have to do. And again, they may seem complex and hard to do, but the PCBs are, that's the easiest part in my opinion. We'll do a video with those as well too. But to finally getting the bottom part done, it makes me happy because now I know the rest is just going to fly on by. Whew. Good stuff. Alright guys, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the next video when we start working on the top of this thing. Alright, we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.